$8,000 worth of deals just in the past 30 days.
60 to 70 calls. So my close rate is clearly like not that great because our show rate at some point was like 5%. Like it was literally terrible.
What? 5%? How much have you spent total on ads so far?
I've spent a little over 5,000. And then I hired a sales rep. He had taken about 15 to 20 calls. I just ended up firing him like 2 weeks ago. And
all right, guys, today I'm here with Jake. Jake, you started your AI agency, I want to say around 3 months ago, you were saying, and you've already closed just in the past 30 days, $8,000 worth of deals. You're in the real estate niche, obviously for your AI agency. So real quick to the people, do you want to give a quick background on yourself, and we'll talk about how you were able to do it, and I guess maybe the big mistakes you made that held you back for the first couple months in order to hit that 8,000 just in the past 30 days.
Yeah, for sure. My name is Jake, 20 years old. My niche is currently real estate, so real estate agents, real estate brokers. I actually just had a loan officer come on as well. Biggest things for me, like he said, I've been doing this 3 months now. Yeah, I would say I've closed 4 clients now. And the biggest struggle has been sales for sure, but that's, has gotten a lot better recently. Currently what I'm doing is just, kind of what Carson does, the lead generation, qualifying leads, and then setting them into appointments with, using AI callers, and then nurturing, more unqualified leads on the back end, stuff like that. So, yeah.
Awesome. Let's go. And do you want to quickly explain, like, I guess how you got into the model? I think you said you only started 3 months ago, so you're almost hitting like 10K months in 90 days, which is pretty crazy. Obviously, it's contract value revenue. So, we'll get into kind of the details of all these 4 clients who closed in a moment. But I guess, do you want to quickly explain like how you got into the agency space initially? And obviously, I know you came across my 10-hour course and went through that and eventually joined in the free school community and everything. So, yeah, maybe give a rundown of how you started.
Yeah, for sure. So kind of like long story short it here. My brother actually introduced me to like the AI receptionist probably about a year ago. And he's a big trader, like he's super successful with trading. So, and I was actually a musician before and still am, but that's not my main focus now. But he showed me the AI receptionist, and I think he had actually met you in Austin because he worked at a firm out there.
Really?
I didn't, yeah, forgot to mention that to you, but
That's crazy.
yeah, so he showed me that. We dabbled around with it for a little bit and really just like never tried to actually acquire clients, which is, that you got to acquire clients. You can't
It's
just work
typical.
on
Yeah.
fulfillment for forever. But I don't know, about like 3 months ago, I really just felt like a different calling on my life with, I won't get into the details, but just with the music I was doing before, stuff like that, and just started, doing the agency thing. I found Wyatt online, had already been, working on receptionist before, sold a few. So like I did get some clients, but it just wasn't a lot. We did a few cold calling things. So just, no like paid advertising, anything there. And then just kind of like jumped into it. Like I saw your 10-hour course, watched a few videos, and I was like, kind of flipped on the mindset, like this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put 10, 12 hours every day into it. And ever since, it's just been like learning, adapting, and, going from there. And I think the
Yeah.
momentum is just now starting to kind of come around. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, 100%. And we'll talk about kind of how you got the momentum, because I wouldn't say it's normal. I mean, to close almost 10K worth of deals in your 3rd month, right? Like, if you know my story, it took like 6 months to close my first like real client. If you go back 3 years ago, 4 years ago on my YouTube channel. So for you, like, what was it the thing over the past few weeks / month that was the difference from the first 2 months of you working on the agency to just, in this last month, you actually seeing because you didn't close any clients prior, right? It was just all in this past kind of like 30 days. What was it different that you did? Just so we have some context.
Yeah, I think biggest thing for me is I took advice from you. I heard you say it probably a few times. Get what you can at first, like get, a free trial client in the door, just pay per close, something like that. And I was like, I'm just gonna do that. Like originally I was just charging 5K on every offer and just trying to get, just get someone on with that. And, eventually I just kind of let that go and was like, I got to get someone in because it's been, 2.5 months or 2 months. Yeah. And then since then, I've just been charging lower. So like 1,000 up front. And I did get one in like 5,000. I'm sure we'll go into that in a minute, but yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
really,
yeah.
that's been the biggest thing is just kind of letting go of offering
So
the
you
higher
repositioned
price.
your offer to be a little bit easier to get people on board rather than, the big upfront costs where people have a kind of like a lot of like doubts or maybe friction towards the sale. Is that you said that's kind of the big thing?
Yeah, and I think, more than anything, I'm focused on getting some kind of testimonial, some kind of case study, because that I think is gonna make it a lot easier to sell a $5,000 package or, even higher, you know. So once I can get some of those results in, because that's really the biggest thing on most of the calls is like, this all sounds great, but I can't trust you if you don't have any type of, yeah. So,
Yep, absolutely. Um, okay, cool. And then the one thing I was going to say was with you over these like past 30 days, were you able to watch the video I did with Connor, my friend by chance, my high
yeah,
school?
I did watch
You
that.
watched it?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you notice, it was the same exact thing that you're saying right here that I told him in that video, right? Because like, obviously he had no business experience. Like I literally took my high school friend from zero to closing 4 clients in 7 days. From not having a business day one to day seven having that. And the big thing I'll say is like I told him from day one, you got to just take what you can get, right? And sometimes it's like an ego thing. You have to drop it a little bit. It's like you're not worth 5,000 or 10,000 or whatever amount of dollars up front yet. You need to get the experience in because the experience and the reps of you being able to fulfill and get clients in through the door is what's going to allow you to then charge more in the future. So I assume that was kind of the mindset you had as well, correct?
100%. Yeah, 100%. I think it was letting go of that ego for sure. Because as soon as you get one, first off, you get that confidence a little more. And then also, yeah, like again, for me, it's if I can get a testimonial, a case study as fast as possible and actually, implement the system for clients, then I'll get closer to those, selling
Absolutely.
$5,000 offers. So, yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Super quick intermission. If you want to be on calls just like this one and get direct one-on-one help from me every single month completely for free, I have a top link in the description below where you can sign up for GoHighLevel. For all of my GoHighLevel affiliates, I give away so much free stuff from 5 weekly Q&A calls with people from my team and including myself where I jump on every single week to ask questions. So whatever you're struggling with, you can show up to the calls and bring your questions to me alongside a full-on community of people absolutely crushing it inside the group that you can meet, become friends with, and ask questions to as well. And 10 hours worth of content and trainings around starting your own AI agency with bonuses that you unlock every single month. Then I want you to sign up for GoHighLevel. You get 30 days completely for free with the top link in the description below. And you have the chance of being on calls just like this one, where every single week I jump on and I pull pretty much one name out of the entire group and jump on and do a quick AI agency audit. And then that gets uploaded to YouTube like this one. So if you want my direct one-on-one mentorship and all the things I just mentioned, plus 30 days completely for free, click that top link in the description below, sign up for GoHighLevel, and then I'll see you guys inside. But back to the video. And then you want to quickly explain like how you're booking these sales calls, like how many sales calls you've had total, kind of how they've gone, because you said sales was the big bottleneck, which it is for most people. 99% of people that are starting, like people think like, oh, once I have sales calls on my calendar, like my life is good now. Like it's really just get him on the call and then it's easy from there. Obviously it's a different story. It's not. How have you been booking calls, and like give us maybe some of the data on how that's been?
Yep. Yeah, for sure. Everything you teach pretty much, just running the paid ads, like you definitely have to have some money to burn on that for sure, because you got to learn. You're gonna like not you're not gonna get tons of calls right off the bat. You got to kind of figure it out. So yeah, I've had about I would say over the past 3 months like 60 to 70 calls. So my close rate is clearly like not that great, but again, that was the biggest bottleneck,
Yeah,
100%. What I learned to do though, like those calls, a lot of them like no shows as well. Biggest thing for me was to like start filtering out people and actually qualify them because our show rate at some point was like 5%. Like it was literally terrible.
what,
So
5%?
yeah, like terrible. So like now cost per call is like $130, like similar to you, I think. But it's just because we filter them out a lot. Like we filter out people that haven't closed more than 5 deals or people that are not ready to go like now. So yeah. But
Yeah.
yeah, since doing that, the show rate has been like 70, 80%, which is super good. Like it's better for me to actually know that people are going to show up than like show up to a bunch of calls and waste time and just people not be there. So,
Sure,
yeah.
sure. So what's your so you're running ads obviously to book call on Meta, which I recommend everyone does. Cold calling, cold DMing. Yes, it works. Is it worth your time? In my opinion, it's actually way better and more efficient to just go get a job, use that money from the job, and then go throw it into ads. I've seen a lot more people be successful with that. But with these ads you're currently running, how much have you spent total on ads so far?
I've spent a little over 5,000. So,
That's a lot.
yeah, it's a good amount.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not
So
like spending
yeah.
20, $30 a day. Like I've started to scale up to like $100 a day now. So, yeah.
Yeah. So I think this is good for other people to listen to because it's like kind of the real reality of like when you first scale up, sometimes you have to even go in the red or break even to then get that experience and get those clients to then, fuel the next 10 clients that you end up getting with huge profits. So you spent $5,000 on ads. You're saying your cost per call is around 130?
Yeah, it is now. It used to be like 50, 60 before I started filtering people out, but it's been way more worth it in my opinion doing that.
Okay. My personal opinion for you is that's too high. This is about the same cost per call that I have in my niche in the like very high end ticket medical clinic space with stem cell clinics. Like that's like there's not that many in the US and we're paying about $100 to $150 cost per call and obviously to get them on our calendar. You're in real estate, there's like a million licensed real estate agents, 2 million licensed real estate agents in the US. So I get you're gauging for quality, and this is kind of like turn this video to like half me helping you, half obviously you talking about your experience. I think your cost per call should be way more than, or actually way less than just half of that. Like in the video I did with Connor, I don't know if you saw it, but our cost per call was around $15. Yes, we were getting some pretty crappy people through the door, but if I wanted to gauge for quality, then okay, let's just say the cost is double, it's $30 per call. So this leads me to my next question, which is what is your offer? And are you running video ads or image ads?
I'm doing a bit of both. So it's really been like the 10 qualified appointments, 90 days. I just kind of went with that. I know you've talked about that a lot. Um, that's been the offer. I think the biggest thing it might be a mix of like the ads I'm putting out themselves, but also there's so many lead gen companies like in the real estate space now, and that might be for any industry. Um, but a lot of them they're not doing exactly what we're doing though, like not a full acquisition system.
Most of them just do
But
ads. Yeah, I'm aware.
yeah,
Yeah.
so I think that might be a reason why the cost per call has creeped up a little, but maybe not because you just started doing this with Connor and that worked
Comes down
out.
to your offer.
Yeah,
It's your
yeah,
offer. So
maybe you can help
yeah.
that out. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess let's start with I mean, obviously the goal is to make more money, but like what's the goal like with the current calls you're having now? Like, are you closing them on like a minimum of like $1,000, $3,000, $5,000? What's your goal with the, next few clients that you close?
Right now, I think I want to start doing more than 1,000 just because my cost per acquisition, like I'm only, as of the last 2 weeks to a month, like the return on ad spend has only been like 2x. So I want to start charging higher because I know like 3x is like, pretty good and you can actually start
Yes.
scaling from there. Um, yeah, the goal, I mean, it has been to just get some people in through the door, like $1,000, but now I want to go higher than that if possible.
Yeah. So because you already have 4 clients, your goal, yes, it could be to get more trial clients or more clients that pay you small sums up front, but you should definitely nowhere near be paying $130 cost per call. Because what's going to happen is like, let's just do the math, right? So like if you are getting $130 cost per call and you spend, let's just say $500 or whatever you book, let's just say 5 calls, okay, for $100 each. Like out of those 5 calls, yeah, sure, let's just say 70% of people show up, which is above industry standard. You're gonna have like let's just say 3 people show up on these calls out of the 5, right? And that means you got to be closing at 33% to just be getting a 2x on your ads. Okay, ROAS. That's not the best situation possible because there's a lot of room for error, right? Like your cost per call is already skyrocketed. What if your show rate goes from 70% to 30% or 40, like whatever it is. Like there's a lot of room for error here and you just need to maximize your volume of calls, in my opinion, and slowly get in more reps. So with these 4 clients you have, you said are 2 of them paid, 2 of them free trials, or like what's the structure on that?
So 3 paid. The very first one was basically free trial, like pay per close. The second one was supposed to be 5,000 up front. We kind of got him in the door for 1,500, and then we were just like, okay, we can split it up like 1,500 a month. He ended up paying like 2,000 up front, so yeah, then 1,500 a month after that. The next two were just 1,000 up front and then pay per appointment, like $150.
Okay. What was the difference of you getting that $5,000 client and now saying your goal is to get more than 1,000 on your calls? Because that's a pretty big client.
Yeah, I think it was just like we've had so many calls, and it was like he was like a one, like he worked out. Like he was a super kind of like easy guy to like work with. We still had to get him in, like we couldn't get the 5,000 up front. Like it wasn't worth losing the deal on. So it was yeah, 1,500 up front.
Okay.
But
And that's just per month. He's paying 1,500 for the next few months.
yeah.
Okay. All right. And then the other three clients, you said one was free trial, one was pay per appointment, and then there was another one?
The other two were both pay per appointment, just 1,000 up
Okay.
front before the yeah.
Okay. I see. Yeah, it makes sense. Your biggest problem right now is your cost per call, and you're at the stage where like you've already like proven that you can charge $5,000 for a service. Was it upfront? No, but it was 1,500 a month. He's going to go pay this for the next few months, assuming you do your service, which
Yeah.
is super good, right? I'm sure that was like once you close that guy, you were like super happy, you're hyped. So like the biggest thing I can tell you is you need to just work on your ads and your offer on the front end because how many calls you're taking the sales calls, I assume, correct?
I am now, yeah. So just for some context, I had taken like the first 5 to 10 I ever had, and just like the worst salesman you'll ever meet naturally. Obviously, you get better. Um, and then I hired a sales rep for like commission only. He had taken about 15 to 20 calls, I would say, and just didn't close it. He kind of closed that guy, the 5,000, the
5,000.
1,500 a month.
Yeah.
But I literally had to hop on the call with him, like it was a 2 call close. I just ended up firing him like 2 weeks ago, and because he wouldn't go down on the offer, like he was just still trying to do 5,000, and ever since I've closed,
Yeah.
people. So yeah,
Okay. So you've been taking calls since, and I assume
yeah,
that's been going pretty well.
yeah. I mean, since I hopped back on, I think like I guess my sales has gotten a lot better. I think after watching him and like seeing what was going on and really like critiquing that, I got a lot better from that. So yeah,
Have you
last
watched some of the sales calls I've posted on my YouTube channel of deals we've closed?
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Do you see a difference at all in sales ability or skills between how we close deals and maybe how your calls go?
I think at the end of the day, yeah, well, yeah. I think at the end of the day, you have to like have that confidence and that experience. That's kind of the biggest struggle for me. And then, objection handling. Like a lot of you're gonna get the same objections over and over again, and you just have to know how to like adapt to each person and kind of like handle them in a way that reframes their beliefs about it. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. And it
yeah,
comes with reps. Like sales in general is like I've never really seen like I don't there is such thing as a natural at sales, but it's a natural at sales who kind of comes in and he actually puts in the work, I feel like. Like becoming just immediately good at sales, in my opinion, doesn't exist. Like you just need some time to get reps in to really even get good. It takes longer for some than others, right? But overall, I think since you've been taking calls over these past 2 weeks, you're taking how many sales calls on average a day right now?
I
It's
would
like one?
I would say on average one, but like yesterday there was like three. I
Okay.
might be closing like two of those people, so yeah.
Cool. That's good. But so my whole thing is like imagine instead of one call and one opportunity a day that's like a little bit higher quality, imagine you had 5 calls a day, right? And I think you could see over time, not only you're going to get extremely good at sales super fast because you're getting in 5 calls every single day, like even if 2 of them, 3 of them no show, like you're still getting double what you're currently getting experience wise just with that. And, like eventually you can tailor an offer to make sure you can close these people based on maybe they don't make as much money or they're financially, whatever it is, like they're not as qualified. I just think your biggest thing, you should switch your offer on your ads from 10 listing appointments or whatever in 90 days. That works. You've obviously you're sitting at like a 2x ROAS, I think, right now, just with that. That's good. But imagine on all your offers, it was, and this is what I did with Connor, only pay per result. Okay. And
Yeah.
if you say that, you're going to get a lot more volume and you can still honor what you're saying. Like what Connor did was super perfect. Like, obviously he was doing like the 3-week trial period, so it's maybe not something you're doing as much anymore because you already have clients. But he would just say, hey, look, you're going to pay me $500 right now, and then you're going to pay me $1,000 for every deal I bring you. But this $500 you're paying me right now is just a commitment fee. This will count towards the first deal you actually close with us. So if you pay us $1,000 per deal, then this $500 will count towards that first deal, meaning you only actually owe $500 to us on that first deal. So it's like still framed as like, it's really just a commitment fee, which if you do free trials, everyone knows, like, if you don't get any sort of money from them, like the chances of them are ghosting are pretty high. So it's super smart. So you can get creative around your offer. So it's not like you're lying on the ads. You're still honoring your word, but you're also, you make it a win-win. And I think if you can figure out a way to do that, like, you're going to be so much better. And especially if you just, like, if you get this crazy volume of calls with a really compelling offer like that, it's called pixel conditioning. So what you can do is you can, on your site and on your booking link or whatever, your booking page on your funnel inside of GoHighLevel, you can add questions on the calendar form, which I assume you already have. And then you can just DQ people based on their responses if they're not qualified, and you'll send them to a different page where your pixel is not actually on. So you only condition your pixel based on the qualified scheduled appointments you have. So all of these things, like, I can nerd out here on how it actually all works, because that's kind of what I do in my day-to-day, obviously in my agency. But for you, like, you just got to bring that cost per call down, okay? Because one call a day, yes, you could sit at a 2x, but you're going to have to spend, let's say, $5,000 just to make 10 grand back. And that's not accounting for refunds, because they do happen, or any other costs in your business, which is only going to leave you with a few $1,000s, maybe a month. And that's you making 10K a month. So I know that was a little bit of a rant, but I think that's like the good advice you should probably hear, because you want to make sure you're scaling properly and you're not going to scale a liability,
I got you. You were saying about the pixel. Are you kind of talking about, like, you send the data back to Facebook to show, like, which leads were
That's
qualified
correct.
that actually came?
Yes.
So I actually do that. I think it's a different way. Basically, like, in high level, I just put qualified and then it sends it back to Facebook. I forgot how I set it up. I think I heard you talk about that as well. That might be increasing cost per call as well. I don't fully know, but yeah, I'll definitely take what you're saying though. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, just an idea, right? Because if I break down the math and I literally project how you're doing here, like, it's going to be slim, and I don't want you to feel like you're getting into some position where it's like, oh my gosh, my margins are super low because I scaled a 2x campaign, which, is fine, but at the end of the day, you're left with very little. You just want to maximize your ROAS on the front end with your current position. That should be your goal. You're a marketer and you're a salesperson. Okay. Client fulfillment, you should also, of course, focus on, but you can also get in people as you close more deals to help you on the back end, whether it be media buyers, CSMs, VAs, all these can help and make your fulfillment better while you focus on the front end. So yeah, I know there's a little bit of, like, I guess, a rant, but hopefully that helps and you can bring it into your business after this. But I kind of wanted to conclude here a little bit with just, like, number one, great work. In 3 months, you've done more than what most people takes them probably over a year, right? Like, really, I'm trying to think of, like, the average time it takes for someone to hit, like, let's just say 10K in a month of deals, probably more than a year, just because most people are lazy and they don't take action. I can tell you've taken action. You went through my 10-hour free course on YouTube. Use GoHighLevel. You're in my community. You're in all the free stuff I give out for the guys in there. And you're active in the wins chat, obviously posting wins. So what is a big piece of advice you could give to someone who's starting out, maybe just watching my first videos or just watching anyone on the internet, really just to, like, start an AI agency or AI business? What could you tell them as if you were kind of talking to your younger self, only a few months ago, I guess, when you were starting?
Yeah, I think definitely, like, listen to. I take a lot of your advice. You're gonna know this. Like, listen to one person, like, that's actually doing it, that's credible. Like, listen to Carson, and then you have to actually take action. You can't just go off the dopamine rush you get from watching things, because that's a real thing. You have to sit there. You have to take action. You have to fail. Fail faster to actually, like, learn and get to the things that you want to achieve. So I would say, if anything, it's as simple as that. You want to work smarter, but you have to fail. You have to live it to actually get to that point. So
Yeah,
yeah,
what's the saying? It's like winners fail more than losers even try, or something like that. And it's like, it's super true, right? Like, Like people look at everyone at like, oh, how does this guy have XYZ, business or XYZ lifestyle or car, whatever. And it's actually usually just comes down to that guy failed a lot more and a lot faster than you. And then he actually implemented what the lessons he took from it at a quicker rate and speed than the average person who takes 2 months to learn from one mistake rather than 2 days or a day. So obviously, hopefully you just keep crushing it. You keep showing up on the calls I host every single week inside the group. And yeah, man, Jake, it was good to have you on. And I guess maybe if people want to find you, where can people find you? Is it Instagram, YouTube? Are you posting it all? Or are you kind of keeping low key to build the agency underground?
I gotta post more for sure. You can find me at Jake Wims on Instagram though. Yeah, gotta start posting that for sure. Yeah.
Awesome, dude. Well, congrats on the success so far. Obviously, I know this is just probably a fraction of what you're going to do in the future. And, even just like you're kind of at the point now where you're finally breaking past being a little bit red initially on ads or just on softwares, whatever. And you're finally getting these high paying clients and structuring your offer and all your marketing around it. So hopefully you can jump on the channel in a few months from now and you're making like, I don't know, triple or 5 times what you're doing now and we'll run it back.
That's the goal, man, for sure.
Cool, bro.
Awesome. Well,
Jake,
thanks for
it's good to
having
have
me.
you on, bro. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. We'll keep in touch, dude. See
All
ya.
right. Peace.